This is Valerie Van Boeven with the Senior Care Industry Netcast, where leaders with 3 or more years in the senior care industry share their advice. It's 6 questions in 9 minutes, so let's get to it. In a few sentences, tell us who you are and what you do.
My name is Annamarie Buonocore. I am the owner-operator of the San Mateo County franchise for Senior Care Authority. We're just south of San Francisco here in the Bay Area. And my job is placement, to help place people in assisted living, memory care, independent living, boarding cares, and to assist the family through the movement and process of coping with an aging loved one who needs that transition.
And that's a very big job. So we need more people like you all the time. And what is the best thing about serving seniors and their families?
It's always nice to take the load off their shoulders, take the burden off their shoulders. When I meet families, they're often very overwhelmed by the process. There's so many different places, so many people telling them so much information, mountains of paperwork, and being able to use my expertise to take some of that off of their shoulders is very helpful.
Yeah, it really, that sense of relief for a family member is incredible when someone like you walks into the picture and can kind of relieve that stress. All right, let's talk a little bit about online marketing. I know it's challenging, it's ever changing. What has been your experience or thoughts with online marketing, especially right now when it's really kind of hard for us to network in person?
Well, I come from a marketing background. I publish magazines as well, so I have some idea as to how to get the message out there. Online marketing can be hit and miss just like anything else. You can go to a networking group and not get any leads. You can put an ad in your newspaper and not get any leads. You can put ads on Facebook and Google and really not get anything out of it. So anytime you go into a marketing situation, make sure you have the right expectations. But what's been really helpful for me, I would say, is LinkedIn. Being able to vet people out on there and making those connections. I haven't paid for any advertising, but simply sending messages and going through my LinkedIn network and finding new connections. I feel that that's been the most effective use of my time online.
Yeah, and that's how we met, was through LinkedIn. We reached out to anyone who had, was in the senior care industry and had some experience. So I think LinkedIn really does work for that professional networking. Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so what other successful leaders in the senior care industry or organizations or just people who have made a difference in your life or maybe are the reason that you're in the business you're in, who would you like to give a shout out to or talk about?
Well, first, I'd like to thank my family for their support. A couple of my family members went through dementia or were caregivers for people who suffered from the disease. And meeting with their caregivers and going through the process with them was very helpful. I am part of a franchise called Senior Care Authority, which is headquartered in Santa Rosa, California. And Frank and Marcy have been really helpful in setting up my business, finding leads, just putting this whole thing together. And one organization I'd like to pay some tribute to is the NPRA, the National Placement and Referral Association. They've done a lot of advocating for us in Congress and a lot of standing up for the senior care industry, helping families make sure they get the help they need and that it's all done fairly and in good faith. And I really look up to the leaders in that organization.
Very nice. I'm so glad that you really have had lots of help from your franchise organization. We hear a lot of good things about Senior Care Authority. And so I think that folks who are watching this or listening can learn a lot from people in the industry who have experience. And so when you shout out to these organizations, and we all learn more about, their thought process and their moral compass. So thank you. All right. What piece of advice would you give to other senior care providers?
Well, one piece of advice I would give is to stay organized. I find organization to be critical to pretty much everything I do in life. Like I said, there are mountains of paperwork. There could be a lot of different people involved: primary care physician, gerontologist, psychiatrists, family members, etc. Sometimes I get cases where there's several family members looking. You've got a brother looking here and a sister looking there, and you've got cousin Bob back east trying to figure something out over there. And I would recommend to professionals in my position, or any of the professionals I just mentioned, to really keep things organized and to be patient. If you are experiencing a frustrating moment, try and keep it away from the family.
Yeah, and things do change and are pretty fluid when there's a lot of family members involved. So absolutely. You got to kind of be patient and let everybody work through their own stuff sometimes. So, absolutely. Great advice. Okay. Last question, supposed to be a fun one. When you have a win in life, how do you celebrate? Now, that could be anything: birthdays, it could be graduations, it could be a new family member, it could be whatever you call a celebration. We just like to kind of talk about something fun. So, how do you like to celebrate?
Well, I run several businesses under one roof here, and one way we kind of always celebrated after we published another publication, or if I make a placement, there's a great Mexican restaurant here in the area called Celia's, and we go there and have a margarita. It's a very good place. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to do that with the shutdown, but one way that I really celebrate and enjoy achievements in life is to be around my two dogs. I have two Maltese poodles. I enjoy going to the pet store, getting them things, and just enjoying the evening with them, being close to
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, I'm a dog person too, and there's no better way to celebrate than snuggling with your pooches. So I, I love a good dog snuggle, or just outside playing with a ball or whatever it is. They're always fun to be around. So, well, I want to thank you for doing this episode, for being on the show, for sharing your wisdom with us and letting us know more about your business. You're the first senior care authority we've had on. And I am just really glad to know more about your business and what you do. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. I'm really excited about this. Thank you.